Hey, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. The link's in the description. If you're not watching on YouTube, head over to YouTube if you want to jump on. And I want to hear some instant reaction to the fines and the consequences that have been announced for Carolina Panthers owner David Teper. So hello, my name is Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, aka Man of the People, as I enjoy working for the fans of the Carolina Panthers. And as you saw in the title, it happened several days ago. It had been quiet on the front of the Carolina Panthers team, providing comment about the situation that took place in Jacksonville, situation of Carolina Panthers owner David Teper throwing a drink. Video surfaced Sunday night at a Jacksonville Jaguars fan and walking off. So here is what the consequences are. It has been announced that the consequences for David Teper for throwing a drink at a fan is probably, well, I don't want to, let me just say what it is. $300,000, okay? Carolina Panthers owner David Teper was fined $300,000 for his actions this past Carolina, I'm sorry, at a Jack. I don't know, but to provide some context of things, there was an owner was fined for giving the finger at a fan, and that amount of that fine was $250,000. There was no contact of any. There was no possible assault of any. It was $250,000. And here we are many years later. I want to say again, I feel like it was 10 years later. The fine for David Teper is only $50,000 more than giving someone an obscene gesture versus throwing drink on them, getting them wet, etc. for David Teper. Now, again, I'm going to stay online for maybe 10-15 minutes to give you all a chance to hit that link in the description, come on the show, let me know what you think about this. I know a lot of fans were saying, hey, I hope he gets suspended. I hope he gets some time away from the team. None of that has happened. What about draft picks? That didn't happen. The only thing that happened was the fine for $300,000. And right around the same time that information came out, an official word from David Teper was released. Are you ready for it? I'm going to read it a few times. But again, I just like to put the facts out there and let you all say how you feel about it. But very much as soon as the information broke about the fine, also came an official word or statement from David Teper. So I'm going to read it. I am deeply passionate about this team and regret my behavior on Sunday. I should have let NFL stadium security handle any issues that arose. I respect the NFL's code of conduct and I accept the league's discipline for my behavior. Should have put it on the screen, but I'm going to read it for you one more time. Statement from Carolina Panthers owner David Teper. I am deeply passionate about this team and regret my behavior on Sunday. I should have let an NFL stadium security handle any issues that arose. I respect the NFL's code of conduct and accept the league's discipline for my behavior. So this is just what I'm thinking. He's been in talks with the NFL. He also has some lawyers. I'm sure he has more than one that will pick up the phone at any time imaginable that he could call. And they said, hey, don't say nothing, man. We'll work with the league. We'll talk to them and we'll guide you through this. And then it just seems like as they're talking, Tepper and his people, maybe with the NFL, it's like, all right, we're about to announce the fine, and Dave's like, okay, well, let me go ahead and get this letter ready for an owner. Let me get a letter ready in terms of being able to make a statement, and we'll squash this and move on. That's what it is. And furthermore, the NFL had a statement. Let me see if I can get this. Give me just a second. So there's all are expected to conduct themselves at all times in ways that respect our fans and favorably reflect on their team and the NFL. All right. Gonna read this one more time, then I'm gonna jump into the comments and then see what comments that you guys may have to say in the comments, if that makes sense. Not too many times mentioning the word comments. All NFL personnel are expected to conduct themselves at all times in ways that respect our fans and favorably reflect on their team and the NFL. That was it. So let's go ahead and jump into some of these comments that have come about from everybody that's been on this chat since I started it. Tyler Petty. Tepper needs to get out of Carolina. He's ruining the team. So, yeah, it has not been the best results since Tepper has taken over the team. I think it's been about 6 years. We've not had a winning record. We've not made it to the playoffs. We've had attendance that is atrocious. We've had takeovers that have been phenomenal for the other team. We've had coaches getting fired, personnel leaving in management, just lots of changes, a lot of changes, but none of them have been the changes that we all were thinking that we would get. And, you can say, yeah, we have a lot more concerts here in good old nothing to do Charlotte. We now have something to do with concerts that could take place. But the main thing of football, it's pretty bad. It's very bad. Appreciate the comment there, Tyler Petty. Elizabeth, what is $300,000 to a billionaire? NFL know doggone well if it was a player, they'd suspend it in addition to being fined. So that's a really good point. So, that fine is less than 1% of his net worth at $20 billion. It's nothing. That money's probably already been wired to the NFL at this point, and he probably could have left a tip and just wouldn't care, right? But you just think about the fairness. You like for penalties for people to be fair. And certainly you like to think if it was a player that did such an act, there would be demanding for the player to make a statement more than this, a statement that would also involve an apology. It would be talked about, the shield and how the NFL is to be represented and blah, 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 blah. Maybe even some counseling for the guy, right? Something. But this was just a very short statement by both the NFL and David Teper. And let me just quickly see if I can find the previous fine. Give me just a second. So in 2009, so this is almost 15 years ago. In 2009, the Titans owner, Bud Adams at the time, was fined $250,000 for making an obscene gesture at a fan. And this one is $300,000 almost 15 years later. I'm pretty sure that does not even account for inflation. Let me see how smart I can be live on this show. So let me tell you guys what the inflation amount should have been for this. All right, 40% since that time. So if he was fined $240,000 back then, inflation, 40%, about approximately since 2009. Okay, so check it out. 40% inflation since 2009. Things that cost $1 back then cost $1.40 right now. All right. So if he was fined $250,000 for giving the finger back then, that means in 2009, that means that David Teper should have at least been fined $350,000. Man, he got some good people working for him. That's all I can say, because that did not even account for inflation, the amount that they fined David Teper compared to what they fined Bud Adams back in 2009. All right, let's go ahead and get into some of these comments from you guys. Actually, let me go ahead and tell you one more thing. There were some transactions that took place for the Carolina Panthers, so let me give you that bit of news. Wide receiver rookie Jonathan Mingo has been placed on season-ending injury reserve due to I think it was a toe injury that he had. Let me make sure it was foot injury. I'm sorry, foot injury. So wide receiver Jonathan Mingo was placed on injured reserve due to a foot injury, so he's going to miss the remainder of his rookie season. And yeah, so I wanted to get you that news as well. There was a corresponding move as well for replacing his roster spot that was made available by placing him on injured reserve. That is, let me see if I can quickly find it. Yeah, they signed running back Mike Boone to the practice squad, and then they promoted offensive tackle J.D. Dorenzo to the 53-man roster. And then there's also breaking news. Not. I feel like they did the Panthers wait for this to try to cover up what happened, but they added kicker Matthew Wright. Again, the Panthers have added kicker Matthew Wright for the final week of the season after finding themselves without one. Matt Wright was with the team in the preseason, and they signed him to the practice squad today. So, we didn't have a kicker because Pinheiro got hurt. So we had Camille Gruger-Hill, but, they don't want him kicking anything beyond 30. We didn't have any kick attempts, had 0 points. So today, Matthew Wright was signed to the practice squad, potentially been elevated this Sunday to take the place of Pinheiro. So now got you all up to date with the news. Let's go ahead and go through some of these comments here. Welcome back. Appreciate it, Ali Broderick. Thank you. What is 300,000 to I already read that comment, but thank you. Tin Tizzy, one of our members. We got to give our members lots of props when they sign on to the channel and leave some comments. So Tin Tizzy celebrates 1 month of membership. We're going to give you some more claps. 1 month of membership. Hey, sincere thank you to all of my members that help support this independent media. We need it. We're supported and funded 100% by our viewers. So anytime that we can get a viewer, especially one that stays on during a season where you're 2-14, you get shut out. Appreciate you very much. I'd be throwing beers too if I was paying for that trash. My man Shaked, hopefully, Shaked, am I saying your name right? I hope that I am, because I know I struggled with saying it for quite some time. But hey Chris, so I see that Tepper did not directly apologize to that fan, which makes me believe that fan said something that you cannot say. That's a good comment. I'll take that. If he crossed the line with his comments, not saying that crossing the line means that you get to do what Tepper did. Again, he has security with him at all times, and I'm sure someone would have come running extremely quick to move that fan away from Tepper, but perhaps that fan did say something pretty bad crossing the line, which was a proponent of Tepper not making an apology. KPM, the man, the myth, the legend, that is me. I like been okay now. Leave some comments if things are back to being okay now. Sorry that it was a little flaky for a second. All right, talking about the statue. So could this be over? Could the person that had the drink thrown on them be having themselves a day in court. So let me look up what this says. 784 Florida statute. All right, so, this is basically talking about assault or battery and what David Teper did could have been under that statute. Let's see. Now, yeah, so I'm not going to go through reading all of this, but I know certainly here in North Carolina, assault could be, I'm not sure if it's simple assault and all that details of it, but I know assault could be, yes, throwing a drink on someone could be assault. So we don't know if the guy that got the drink thrown on him will go to that length or not. Maybe he's already been contacted by the Tepper Association and said, hey, here's some money, let's just continue to live on. Don't tell anyone that this happened. That's just Chris Jenkins' thought. That is not source information. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised that we haven't heard from that person. He may just want to appreciate the statute information. Oh, here we go. The fans should press charges and prosecute to the fullest extent of Florida statutes and Chapter 784. Richard Fearing, Tepper is the biggest problem in Carolina. You know who I would love to hear from? Who I would really love to hear from about this? It was a couple of weeks ago that Cam Newton, man, let me see if I can reach out to Cam. No, I do not have Cam Newton's phone number. I was not looking to my phone to do that. But man, I would love to hear from Cam Newton on what he has to say about Tepper, and because a couple of weeks ago he was saying, hey, let me be an executive on this team, let me be a team president, let me hold everybody accountable. Love to hear what Cameron Newton would do if he was in fact in that position right now for this Carolina Panthers team. Don't have Cam, if you got my number. Hey, I also want to go ahead and ask you guys to like the video, subscribe. We're still trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, so that would be appreciated if you like the video. That helps other Panther fans find out about this channel, and would really, really appreciate that. Could be my New Year's present from you guys, all right? Any rumors on the security of Fitty's job? So it's not a secure job. He has not been given any reassurances that he will continue to be in that role in 2024, which is this year. So my thoughts with everything that's going on with this team so far this year, with the blowout this past Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars, it's why not just scrap every single piece of this team? Just why not? Every single piece that you can scrap, just scrap it, start over, build it right. But it's going to take some time. Again, it's not like just scrapping, just, hey, you get a job, you get a job, you get a job. We don't want to go Oprah Winfrey style on it. We still need to be very methodical. We still need to rely on some people with some good knowledge to help Tepper make that decision. But yeah, nothing on the security of his job. Fitterer has not been given any assurances. My man Quentin, one of our members, tuning in. I always appreciate the members coming on. Evening Family 300K is a slap in the face of all fans. So disgusting. Yeah, that's also a good way to look at it. The fans. You'd like to think that, hey, we're going to take this stance very seriously, and the protection of our fans, our owners, should be held to a different standard, should be fully accountable. 300,000, that's a little bit on the small end. Tyler Petty, I'm still disappointed that we didn't keep Steve Wilkes for another year. He had that team turned around quickly, and he won the locker room. All right, here's a football question. Will the offense bounce back this week? How could they not? How could they not? How could you not bounce back from 0 points? How could you not be better than 2-14 from this season, next season? It's one of those. How could it not? For my sake, as a member of the media that has to cover this team, that's at all the games, I would certainly like to see a better performance this week. Rails, what's good? Appreciate you tuning in. My man C-Dog as well tuning in. Hey, we're going to give away some Carolina Panthers merchandise this week. I think I have about 2 pieces that I still have not given away. So continue to like the video, turn on your bell notifications, and just watch for the actual way that we're going to give those 2 items away this week. So just want to mention that. Chris, I was at the game Sunday, didn't see Tepper incident, must have been 4th quarter. I forget exactly when that was rumored to happen. On or about 3:30 p.m. is when he threw the glass of drink. Yeah. I don't know if it's old or not, but I saw that Steve Drummond resigned. So much for Tepper saying people don't leave him. He's had quite a few people resign and leave. Hey, Richard. Yes, Stephen Drummond left earlier this year, quite a while ago. That's not new that he left. I really want to say it was definitely before the season started. It was definitely before the season started. I don't remember the exact date off the top of my head. So, yeah, you know, I do remember him talking about in that press conference when he had released Frank that people don't leave him. Absolutely, many people have left. Team presidents have left. Other executives have left. So he's just talking about his other businesses, but certainly that's not the case here in Carolina with the Panthers. Some non-favorable comments about Tepper. He is rotten to the core. Yeah. Just reading what I'm seeing here. Yeah, that was a fine. The $300,000 is from the NFL. It is not from a fan. That is correct. All right. Continue to work through a few more of these comments. Owners shouldn't be immune from the personal conduct policy, which they're not. When Bryce threw the interception. So yeah, all right, so let me dial this up because you guys are asking about when he threw the drink. So give me just a moment and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about when he threw the drink, all right, or when it's believed that he threw that drink. Give me a second. So you're trying to go through some information here because I believe I did have something that talked about when he threw it. Okay, so I couldn't find it. I don't want to leave you guys hanging too long. But yes, I believe that you guys are right. I forget what quarter it was. It would have been 4th when Bryce threw that interception, I believe. But it was after. I think it was after that interception. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much because I couldn't find my exact notes on it. But I think you guys are right that it was after he threw the interception, which would have been in that 4th quarter. Just again, reading through these comments, seeing if there's anyone that I want to get on before I get off of here. So let me make this a little bit bigger. Can't imagine any coaching prospect or GM worth a damn would want to come and work for Tepper. The man is turning this franchise into this generation's Browns, Lions, pure futility. Here's my 2 cents about that. I feel like I really don't feel like him throwing a drink. Like, if I'm a potential coach for this team, I don't feel like him throwing a drink would make me feel any way or not about working for the guy. Just in the sense that coaches and players see people do a lot of things when they get frustrated. And your owner's a completely different person. And he's mad that your team's not winning. I don't think that's going to be so shocking to me about like, would I want to work for this guy? Now, I know you could look at it also saying, well, but it wasn't a smart thing to do. For me, all the other things that he does would affect my decision more, like how he hires and fires people, how he's handled other business transactions, maybe even that, that Rock Hill thing. But I don't know, I feel like other things, like how he hires personnel, how he has weekly meetings with coaches, how he's been rumored to write down plays. That would make me think about it more than him throwing a drink because he's pissed off at a game, don't know what the guy said. That would not justify it. But those other things that would allow, hey, can I do my job when I'm at this organization? Will I be given the ability to do my job while I'm at this organization? Those things for me, I feel like would be the bigger impact. But certainly, Jason, certainly appreciate you commenting, you chiming in with me this afternoon. You guys are talking about my internet? Man, I did not know my internet was being a little shaky today. So unfortunately, I'm midway through the broadcast. I can't change the signal while I'm on. My apologies. But hopefully it was a good enough connection for you guys to enjoy the show and get the message. So we will be back on air tomorrow, continue to cover this team. So got you up to date with David Teper, his find, as well as the latest transactions. Hope you all appreciate it. I appreciate you. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you enjoy the content. And if you really like it and want to be a part of something growing and big, help me get better internet connections, go ahead and join our channel. Links also in the description to do that. For Charlotte Vibe, I am Chris Jenkins.